Well, I'd been approached about 4 times about doing a project in Dubai, but every time I'd been approached by people that had been fine dining in hotels, and that isn't my world at all. Everything I do at home, it's either pubs or it's casual dining or local restaurants or brasseries. And then Alex, who I'm in business with over here, his pitch to me was what sold it. It was very simple. He said, what I want to be able to do is have great fish and chips and a pint in Dubai without it being in a formal environment, without it being tablecloths, without it being, please sir, yes sir, thank you sir. And that was it. He sort of sold it to me on that really. And then we really hatched this plan of doing, I suppose, a British restaurant without it being themed. So British sensibilities, I guess. So obviously gearing ourselves towards all of the expat community, very casual setup. I mean, I ended up kind of being a chef. When I was a student, I always worked in bars and restaurants to fund my studies. Never in the kitchen, always on the front. And then when I decided to make the change, because I love the industry so much, I think it always influences what you do. You know, whether it's what you put on the plate, the way you approach the way the place looks, the way in which we sort of go about things, I think is done in a very creative process. But I think I'm unique in that. One of the dishes that has been a massive success, which we did as a tongue-in-cheek dish really, was chicken Kiev. When we opened, then we wanted to do lots of kind of comfort food. So fundamentally that's what we've done, and so it's modernised it a little bit. Then rather than serving it with chips and peas, which is what I had when I was a kid, then we do it with roasted onion mash, and we do it with a beautiful fresh coleslaw as well. And it works really well. It's so popular. It's really tasty. It's proper comfort food, whether you've got a hangover, whether you're celebrating something. It just ticks an awful lot of boxes. Fundamentally what happens is you pierce a hole into the bottom end of the chicken breast. We make our garlic butter, garlic, lemon juice, a little bit of herb, pepper, and then we pipe into that. Then it gets panade, so flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs. Then we deep fry them to seal through the oven so that the chicken cooks through. Then the coleslaw is actually all the ingredients you expect in a coleslaw, but rather than doing it with mayonnaise, then we do it with the béarnaise, so it has a really nice richness to it. So all of the ingredients shredded, beautiful creamy mash, and then roasted onions through it. So from a flavour point of view, you get that delicious garlicky overload of the chicken, then a bit of freshness from the coleslaw, but because you've got the béarnaise underneath, then it can make it really indulgent. And then potato was always going to work. And texture wise, so you've got really soft with the potato, you've got a nice bit of crunch with the coleslaw, more crunch with the Kiev, but then as you cut through it and that butter oozes out onto the coleslaw, heaven.